All right, y'all. It's your boy Professor X, and I'm here with Brother Zargon, and here's another episode. Here is another episode of Wrestling Topics. We're gonna jump right into our first topic. We're gonna be talking about the WWE whack ass wrestling entertainment winter cleaning. And when I say winter cleaning, I'm talking about the latest batch of releases following the November 5th WWE quarterly earnings conference call, which is all the money that came in the past quarter. And uh, the first, brother Zargon, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. Family's okay. They watching movies. My daughter's sleep, and yeah, I'm good.
All right, yeah. And tonight it's going to be a two-man show, but we want to send a shout out to our brother uh, who maybe no longer with us, Kid Stacy over in London. Peace and blessings, brother. Oh, we miss you, and we hope you are well, and we hope everything is blessed. And on that note, uh, to the WWE's winter cleaning, let's read off a list of names. Now, a few names. It's about time, and one name shouldn't even come back. But here we go. You got Scarlett from NXT, Karen Cross's wife. Ember Moon, very talented, but probably wasn't going anywhere anyway because she was sent back to NXT. Taya Valkyrie, wife of Morrison, formerly, uh, what was her name? What was her name in NXT? It was something. Basically, I
I'm
call
not
it,
even gonna say it. It was
yeah,
horrible.
yeah. It hit
Frankie
me.
was a Frankie
Frankie
moment.
Monet.
Oh my god.
I don't know who the hell came up with that, but
That that
the way she walked around and carried a little dog, you would think she's trying to become the Paris Hilton of WWE. That's basically all I saw. I didn't see a lot of entertaining factors from that, or nothing to gain my interest.
that was a
But
terrible name. That was
okay,
McGillicuddy bad.
yeah, really. We got One Lorcan, I think another NXT call up. Karrion Cross, of course, husband to Scarlett. B-Fab, who just got there with Hit Row, just got there, and she got the boot already.
Already.
Already. Oh my goodness. Oh, shout out to the chat. Micah Hill, what's up? Grand Metallic, Jeet Rama, Katrina Cortez, Trey Baxter, Lince Dorado, which I think was one half of Lucha House Party. Nia Jax, it's about damn time.
Oh my
And
god.
and it,
That's
and
my
it
girl.
I know she's one of your favorites, but at least
That's my
she can't.
girl.
At least she can't no longer injure coworkers. At least for now. Keith Lee, who actually had COVID for a while. Eva Marie, once again. So much for the evolution. Good luck on your future endeavors. I mean, I've heard she's got projects outside the WWE, acting wise, whatever. But I don't see that lasting very long because she can't act worth shit.
She
so
could do she could do small projects. You don't have to do big ones. I mean, if
yeah,
you keep yourself consistent, you can live
yeah, she was.
comfortably.
Yeah, actually, she was in one several years ago with Nicolas Cage, a horror movie, but she was killed in the middle. I mean,
No,
like I said,
hell. Come
yeah,
on, hell.
which was a good thing, So, like I said, because her attempted acting ability is terrible. Anyway, Maya Yim, great talent, a waste, and she's been on
I
TV
don't
for
know.
over a year. Like I said, they brought her up from the main roster into Retribution as Reckoning, which basically fizzled really fast, and then she disappeared. But
Pretty
they said she
much.
was yeah. They said she was about to SmackDown, but traded to Raw, which
But
never.
she made a tweet on a joke, like a tweet. It was funny though. I had to laugh though. She put a clip from Friday saying how you get fired on your day off. That shit was funny. And of course I say, well, Kofi Kingston really ain't getting his money now because they've been kind of going Kofi and Maya been going back and forth with the money because of Kofi taking out Shelton Benjamin. It's just a little comedy thing. I think it's
I know,
funny
yeah,
to see
okay,
them
yeah,
interacting. I think it's
yeah,
pretty
because
cool.
because Sheldon and Maya are good friends. I
Yeah,
see pictures of her with him on her Instagram as well.
that's a dope moment.
Yeah, but I'm saying, all seriousness aside, Maya Yim wastes a waste of talent. I mean, all she was doing
Really
is
is.
she actually has she actually has a YouTube channel now of her own. That's all she can do, and she was doing Twitch. So it wasn't like she was basically sitting at home making money, not doing anything. But that's like I say it's a waste. But okay, yeah, my Harry Smith, son of British Bulldog.
I didn't even know he was in WWE again. I didn't even know they signed him
Yeah,
again.
yeah, they brought him back. Yeah, he worked one dark match and that was it. Sorry about that. I got some. My eyes are sensitive.
I didn't even know that. That
Yeah,
was crazy.
he worked one dark match. That was it. So I guess there wasn't much high hopes for him. Zeta Ramier and Jesse Cameo, and that's it. That's 18 wrestlers
18.
getting the axe. Basically, in my opinion, getting blindsided.
Yeah, I think all of them. A lot of people I'm not familiar with, especially like the NXT stuff. Like some people I'm a little familiar with, but not very. But damn, 18 people just out of nowhere. And then it's like the more people get released from WWE, like the less shocking it becomes. Like you have superstars that gets released and you're like, oh snap, they got released. But then when you look throughout the entire year, it's been a lot of releases, been a lot of big names gone, such as a Bray Wyatt, such as a Braun Strowman and things like that.
Yeah.
So when you see guys like that get released, once you start seeing other people, it feels surprising, but at the same time, it's not. And they keep using the same budget cut excuse, but I mean, everybody can't be budget cut excuses. I'm sorry, I just find that hard to believe.
No, well, that's the political term now.
Of course.
The thing is, when you listen to their last two quarterly earnings, excuse me, when you listen to their last two quarterly earnings conference calls, I haven't listened to them, but I read the highlights. The numbers are solid. The numbers are very solid, and the numbers are good. So I don't understand why they need to cut somebody and say or then I know those are just by those numbers. Those are big budgets. I
Those
mean,
are.
The one I think I saw from the latest one said was like $255.8 million. That's a lot of money. And
let me hold something.
All right, go ahead.
Let me hold something, man. I need something. Let me hold something. I would appreciate it. Sheesh. Oof.
Yeah, Michael Hill in the chat is right. Yeah, this ain't a budget cut. They are a dollar. They're a $1 billion company.
But I don't think it's self-made billionaire, because it is a publicly traded company, so there's stocks and things like that. So I don't that stock market is kind of tricky.
With the numbers being solid, it can't be too tricky because, like I said, they're bringing in revenue. This is merch, and they brought in more when they started doing live shows again.
So you think they're trying to cut a lot of big contracts out, and they're trying to have just a few minimal big contracts, and then on their NXT stuff like 2.0, they're just hiring a bunch of new people and try to bring them up that way? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, cut the people that's making like real major money, or at least good money in WWE, and only having like a certain tier, like a Charlotte or a Becky, or people like those in like the higher tiers, and then have a bunch of, I guess, other people underneath them.
That's true, but the thing is, looking at these list of names, the only people I see making the most money are Nia Jax, basically, and Eva Marie, possibly, because the rest of them, which a few have gone back to NXT, could have been making too much money, because the ones on NXT make much less than the ones on the main roster. Because see, when you go to the main roster, you get a pay raise, because Big E explained a scenario when he first started, when he was in developmental, he was making I think he said it was like $500 a week, $26,000 a year. When he got to WWE, that jumped up to $300,000 a year. So he got a pay increase. So see, Nia Jax, I can see probably making somewhat of a lot of money, but she was a star, a big star for a little while. Like I said, she had the belt for a while. The whole feud with Alexa Bliss, of course. But see, in those years, she said in her Instagram statement, they say she was with him 7 years. So in that 7 years, that's the height of her career. But her reputation grew for injuring other wrestlers, and plus Booker T said on his podcast she was more busy trying to be a diva than a monster. That could be true,
That's true.
but
But does Braun Strowman fall under that same category too?
well, he's a man and he's not a diva. Of course, he's much less attractive than Nia Jax is.
I'm
But
just
Braun,
saying because of
yeah.
all the damn photos and oh my god, him dressing up like was it Jasmine from Aladdin? He was dressing like somebody.
Oh, I didn't
Uh,
see those. Okay, I didn't see those. I just know
yeah,
he was a monster. He was basically billed as the monster among men, and he did his job as a monster. I mean, he had that interesting, where he was, roar, all that shit. So
they
I'm still
did. They
shocked.
did kill his
I'm still,
momentum though.
yeah, I'm shocked that they released him. It's like I'm shocked they released a Bray Wyatt, but of course that's the subject. We'll get you later. But
All right,
just like I said, look at these names, and Harry Smith was on the back and worked one dark match. He could have been making no money. So between these 18 people, I like to see their contracts of what they were making, and I don't see why you couldn't
that's
keep
true.
everybody. Why you couldn't keep everybody and keep paying them since you're bringing in all these different millions in different sectors of revenue. One was up 32 or 15% from last year. So, but of course, like I said, as fans, we don't know what goes on the business side of that. See, a lot of that money probably goes out into, like I said, probably to the board of directors. They probably did get bonuses. There's probably money, there's bills they probably got to
That's
pay.
true.
And then, of course, see,
That's
look, the contract with Fox. Fox paid
oh
them like,
Wonder Woman. Okay, it
yeah,
was
no,
Wonder Woman. So who was it that dressed like Jasmine from Aladdin? I thought it was Strowman.
I didn't see that. I didn't even know that Strowman had any photos out of him dressed as like some cartoon character. I got to see that. I mean, I don't think I want to, but that seems like to me that seems a little
Oh
corny to
no,
me.
it was Kenny Omega. Never mind. Okay,
Oh
I
yeah,
remember
well
now. It was Kenny Omega.
People tell me Kenny Omega is bisexual, so I can see him dressed as Wonder Woman. I can see that. Yeah, just so long as Nyla Rose doesn't dress as Wonder Woman. That would kind of kill my image of Wonder Woman altogether. So, but anyway,
Oh my god.
yeah. Anyway, like I said, these list of names, there's nothing to me there that warrants all these releases. And Keith Lee was just brought back, and like I said, he was out with COVID for a while. I mean, they didn't say it, but he said it was a medical issue. So, and look, Mia Yim also had COVID. Now, our article admitted that she contracted, so both of them contracted it, but they both got treatment, and both, I guess, are clear of it now. But now it's saying four of them, four of these 18 were released due to unvaccination. Now, part of Nia Jackson's statement was WWE never mentioned vaccination status to her. She was mentally broken. She had, like I say, she was burnt out, mentally broken. And when they gave her a date to come back, she wanted more time off. So maybe
But
someone
that's the
said,
first.
yeah,
That's
go
the
ahead.
first thing. That's the first thing. A lot of people like when they come to WWE, main roster in particular, is getting used to that schedule. Like that schedule just burns you out. Like you have no time, like really to recover. So I can see Nia Jax, wanting extra time off. Maybe it could have been an extra week. It could have been an extra, 2 weeks, maybe a month or whatever. But
Yeah,
eventually, the stars will come back, and it's not like they're hurting right now for her. I mean, if they were hurting for her, that'd be something different. But I mean, you got the whole Becky and Charlotte thing going on, which I understand that Bailey's not there, but I mean, they still have other stars on the show that they can utilize and use, and at least progress them up, instead of just relying on the same people. But that's just my opinion.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. But hey, it's WWE. It is what it is. And like I said, Nia Jackson's statement saying she was disappointed. She couldn't believe that she was abruptly let go. But the thing is, all of them should have seen this coming. I mean, people say, no, this is a family and this is a dream job, and it's not. Because you notice when they all get released, half of them do shoot videos, and then they talk about creative issues and talk about this, that, and the other. See, when they get released, but when they
That's true.
but as long as they have a job, everything is peaches. Everything is pure gravy. Everything is basically a cakewalk, and it's
I
not.
think it. I think it. I think it. Honestly, it depends on who you are. I think that's what it is. I think it depends on who you are because a lot of people do get on creative and they say creative was bad, and then you have people that in WWE that was like on a higher totem pole making a lot of money, but they just management and dealing with the politics, frustrated them so much to the point that it was like I don't care about the money. It's just y'all are breaking me and like take take John Moxley. He's the perfect example of that. Guy was making a bunch of money. I was trying not to call him Dean Ambrose because I got that in my head, but
Yeah.
take John Moxley. He's the perfect example of that. Like, dude was making money multiple time, or I think at least a one-time WWE champion. And when you got a guy like that complaining, saying your product sucks, there's a serious problem. Whenever you got former champions, like major champions, and still got a lot of years left in the wrestling business, yeah, that's a serious problem.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Moxley, want to wish him well, a speedy recovery. Look at this. He's they've taken him off TV. He's enrolled in an inpatient program for alcoholism. He
But
apparently
at
has a
least
drinking
he
problem.
was but at least he was able to admit that, though. The first
Yeah,
step
that's true.
towards,
Yeah,
recovery is always to admit it, to admit your issue. Okay, that's the first step. And then,
yeah.
after that you go on and proceed. So I give Moxley a lot of credit for that. And I mean, that's not hard.
I didn't even know he had a problem. I mean, he
I
didn't.
don't
I
think
mean,
anybody knew that, to be honest.
I think, like I said, his lifestyle and partying and drinking. I guess everybody has a vice. Some people it's
That's
drugs,
true.
some people drinking, some people both. Maybe he's always had a vice, or like I said, there might be something going on in AEW. Even though, so like I said, it's still the wrestling business. AEW isn't all peaches and cream either. I'm
Of
pretty
course
sure.
not, but I think he wanted to change for his daughter too, because him and Renee just had a daughter, so you don't want
Yeah.
your daughter to, your kid to see that type of image of you, drinking and things like that. So that could be another reason why he wants to change his life around, in that department. So I give Moxley all the credit in the world, all the praise in the world. I hope he comes out on top, man.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, at least he's getting help for it now, so he doesn't become another statistic.
Yeah,
You
we
know.
don't need any more of those. And we
Yeah.
don't need like AEW stars, going on the death poll. Like we don't need that stock to, start rising. It's bad enough WWE has a gazillion people on the death charts. I mean, unfortunately, with Brody Lee, but that's kind of a little different. It's not like, this person died from a drug overdose or this person died from this,
Yeah, he got sick. He
different
had some
stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
he was diagnosed with something that
That's what I said. His situation was, a bit
yeah,
different, but
and
you
he was
don't want to
working with
have
AEW. He was working with AEW when he passed. So when
exactly.
like I said, but he left WWE. For I guess for the reasons.
Oh, what the fuck is? Oh, my phone tripping.
Anyway, but okay, now for Eva Marie for a second. No, all jokes aside, when Eva Marie came back, you could see the wrestling didn't improve. You can just tell that it was just looks. She can't wrestle. It was in the promos it was just bad. So
But I think
yeah, go ahead.
that's, but to me, I think that's the reason why a lot of fans disliked her, was because she was so green. She was so bad. Like, it's so bad that, you have to boo it. Like, it's so terrible. Like, why are they putting this woman on TV? Let's boo her. And I mean, even though she may not be the most talented person, they could have still used her in a way to, where she can use that as a strength. If the fans are mad, right? If you got the fans really upset at a person, at a star, whoever, why not capitalize on it? Even if it's just to further piss the fans off, man. I mean, seriously, like they say, getting a reaction is better than none. And Eva Marie, though she can't, walk straight. She got two left feet. I mean, the girl was a heat magnet. I got to give her credit.
Yeah, she was. But unfortunately, she drew true heat, not heel heat, but true heat because she was just bad. She's bad at a heel, and they said that after the program with Dewdrop, they're going to turn her face.
Ooh,
But
that
the
would have
thing
been a
is,
terrible idea.
yeah, but
Terrible
no, but the
idea.
thing is, see, the reason why Eva Maria is so bad is because, like I said, not just the first time, but WWE promoted her with all those vignettes at the top of the car, Evolution. They were it's like they had to look for her to push her to the moon this time. She's
Because
gonna
what did the people find appealing about her? Her looks. They didn't
yeah,
find her
that's
wrestling
and that's the
appeal.
problem. See,
They found her looks appealing. So
yeah,
if she got the looks, and I mean, at least back then, Eva Marie wasn't ugly. And now, with all the
yeah.
enhancement and all that, she's not looking as good as she used to. But I'm saying,
Well, I mean, she's it was basically. I think she's looking more plastic. You can tell that because see,
yeah,
and
you
as
can
you
see
grow
it.
older with all that plastic surgery, it deteriorates and you start to look really, really bad.
Yeah, and
I
I
mean,
think she looked.
look at towards spelling now. After looking with. No,
Wow.
but Eva Marie, I said, and then like the whole story, the program they put her in with Dewdrop, who's a rookie, that whole story right there, that was doomed right there to start. They had Dewdrop wrestle and announced her as the winner. That was basically too obvious. I mean, that was
That
just
name is just
well, yeah. I mean,
horrible.
yeah,
That
Dewdrop,
name
yeah.
is just horrible. You cannot get a like I couldn't pick something better than that. Like what kind of name is that? I'm sorry. Like what type of
That's the
name is that?
scriptwriters. The thing is, and I mean, yeah, she got released, but look how and what led to it, and it's basically it's Vince's fault. It's creative's fault. So you created this nonsense, and basically the fans obviously didn't take to it, as we can see.
No.
So and no one, and like I said, the best thing about her comeback were the promo things on top of the card. That was it. Because the minute she got in the ring and on the mic again, it was the same bullshit as the first time years ago. The first time, nothing
But you know how
changed.
but
Yeah,
you know how WWE is. If they
yeah.
want to try to force something, they'll keep pushing it. Even if it's not gonna happen, they'll try to push it, even if it's like every 6 months or every year or every 2 years, they'll try to push like force something down. Like they'll really keep going back to it. Like I think if WWE really likes you and is behind you or whatever, they'll really try to force that system down on you. And I think Eva Marie was one of those people that got that look like, okay, even though people don't like her, we're still going to try to force her in every capacity. We're going to try to push this evolution thing down your throats, and we're just going to keep pushing and pushing, and eventually you'll give in. That's how they think. I don't know why, but that's just what they do.
That's true. That's true. Well, uh, moving on. After releases, okay. Let's go to quick side note. Dana Brooks, boxing MMA boyfriend, has been arrested. Apparently, somebody
Oh wow.
on social media was dogging him online, and he actually tracked the person down where he lived and punched him in the mouth. So
What?
yeah, he did. Yeah, he found the dude. Says that as a result, he is being charged with battery and has a $5,000 bond. Of course, Brooke announced past July that the couple got
I'm sorry.
engaged.
I have to clap for this. I have to clap.
Yeah,
Dana
go ahead. Go ahead.
Brooks, your boyfriend, thank you. We need more people to get punched in the fucking face. I'm sorry. There's a lot of trolls and there's a lot of fans that say a lot of dumb shit and a lot of ignorant shit. And a lot of them deserve to get punched in the face because we know, first and foremost, the stuff that a lot of people say online, they will never, and I mean ever, say that to the person's face. They'll never say that because they know what will happen. So for him to track down the person and to punch him in the mouth, I commend him. And I think the only reason he got arrested was because one, they probably know who he is, and two, when you're like an MMA fighter or you're a boxer, you have to get your hands registered. A lot of people don't know that because your hands, and if you're MMA, your feet are considered a deadly weapon. So because he's in that world, his body is looked at as a deadly weapon. They I don't know if they'd be lenient on him. I don't think they will because he's a trained professional. Even if he's not like on a higher up, like to where he's known worldwide, he's still in that lethal weapon. Lethal weapon. He's still in that lethal weapon world. So I think that's why he's getting arrested. And I mean the bond isn't too bad. $5,000 probably for someone like him. That's not a lot. For someone like me, that's a lot, but for someone like him, it's not. So I commend him. I know it's wrong to promote violence and things like that, but some fans need to be punched in the face. I'm sorry. They need to. They need a punch in the face.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Well, next topic we're going to we're going to jump into Charlotte Flair. I gotta ask you, why is Flair such a backstage brat? I mean, yeah, you're Ric Flair's daughter. You're a star among few, and that's kind of to me that's a slap in the face to Becky Lynch because I think she's just as big a star as Flair. But I guess maybe by demographics and by ratings, maybe Flair is the biggest draw, even more so than the man.
There's
I
levels
never,
to this.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But here's the thing, right here. It says right here, she's not being disciplined for the incident backstage, saying the feeling is that the company is in a tricky situation because Flair is not the only guilty party. Now, here's the thing with that. when it came to that, okay, yeah, she went off script and threw the belt because I guess because she wanted to do what she did, so she did what she did. Sonya Deville wanted to fight, was so pissed she wanted to fight her backstage. Charlotte Flair was escorted was escorted from the building by security,
Okay, that's good.
and
Try to
and and
de-escalate the
and,
situation.
and the whole women's locker room, I think, and the men too, were on Becky Lynch's side. So when you say Charlotte Flair is not the only guilty party, who else is guilty? I'm guessing. Can you say Becky Lynch is guilty too?
They're probably going to say that, or they're going to say the agents, whoever produced the segment. Because agents get blamed for a lot of shit, even though it's out of their control. That's only group of people I could see, possibly being quote unquote guilty are the agents that produced that segment.
And the funny thing is, these are the same agents that work for Vince McMahon. So actually, the blame can fall on Vince McMahon. Oh, but see, he's Vince
Oh,
McMahon.
it's always going to fall on Vince McMahon, but
Vince
he's never going
McMahon
to
can't be
take the
blamed.
blame.
See, he's the
And the
owner and the
fa-
king. He's the owner and the king and the master. So you can't blame him, but you can blame
Yeah, and the
everybody else.
fans never get on him about it. They never consisted about it. Instead, they get on the wrestler or the wrestlers or whoever else instead of the main guy who's, doing this. Like for me, I'm gonna be more mad at you dropping my belt, disrespecting my belt, because a lot of them belts have a lot of prestige. They have a lot of legacy and things like that. Like I'll be more upset at both. I think it's because one, Charlotte dropped the belt, and then two, Becky threw the belt. So it's showing, both. That's the only part I could say that's guilty on both of them. Is okay. Also, you could use this analogy, like the person that instigates stuff first never gets really the retaliation. It's always the person that retaliates after, the ignition that tends to get more blame. Like somebody could hit you and nothing happens, but the second you hit them back, suddenly everybody's looking at you, the second person that reacted to it. So I think that's why they're calling Becky Lynch guilty as far as that goes. But outside of that, no. And a lot of people, been kind of having problems with Charlotte. I mean, you gotta take this into consideration with her and Nia Jax. I mean, those two were scrapping in the middle of the ring, and
I saw
thank
that.
God,
I saw that.
thank
Yeah,
thank God,
that
thank
was
God,
very brief because they got back on the same page and they finished the match. And the thing is, neither
thank
one
God.
never confronted the other. There was no competition between them. But
That's
I'm gonna have to
good.
correct you on the Becky Lynch. Apparently, Becky Lynch. They said Becky Lynch was the hero and Charlotte was guilty because during the segment, Becky did what she was supposed to do, but Charlotte didn't. That's
No, but I'm saying because
oh
she threw. I'm saying because she threw the belt. Maybe
yeah
people looked at it like, oh, she's disrespect. I mean, Charlotte, like she drops the belt and then she throws the belt. I think that could be the only guilty. That's what I'm saying. That could be the only
yeah
guilty part. But other than that, I
yeah
don't see an issue with it.
because she did it first, and I think maybe Becky Lynch got pissed and maybe just retaliated. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
And then you
But
got
and also they say that Charlotte Flair has lately has isolated herself backstage from everybody. So and they're
because she's
saying
probably
people in her circle are trying to push her to get out of her contract, but she's
uh,
going to be there for several years. And see, this has to do with Andrade. Andrade wants to get her over in AEW so they can be together.
of course,
So see,
but
now the thing is, if you do that, it'll be the same shit over there too because she'll expect treatment. Replace her father. I want to be a star. And she's probably gonna shit on the homegrown talent,
that's
of course.
that's royalty.
I'm
That's why I
saying,
said there's levels to this. That's royalty right there. I'm not a fan of Charlotte at all, but I mean
I
that's
understand
royalty
royalty,
right
but
there.
the thing is, you're just her daughter. You're not Ric Flair himself. You need to carve your own path and stop riding the coattails of your of the legacy. I mean, that's just in my opinion. I think that's what Charlotte's doing. She,
But look at the fans. The fans indulge in the shit too.
I know,
They indulge in it. So I mean,
because she goes woo, and the thing is, she can't even do that as good as her father. And the thing is, if
exactly.
it was me, if I was Charlotte Flair, I would repackage a whole new image for myself. I would not want to live in the shadow and do what my father did. I want to do something different because see, if she ever thought of doing something different, completely different, fans would respect her more because despite her being Flair's father, hey, they would say, hey, I like her. She's doing her own thing. Yeah, Flair's her father, but she's doing her own thing. See, to me, her in a way is just like Eva Marie, no individuality. You're got the same type of robe Flair has, but it's a women's robe. The blonde hair, you're walking with the strut. You're calling yourself the queen. It's the same mentality and
Yeah.
mannerisms and the swagger of your father. So it's
But
like it's like Ric Flair 2.0 instead of Charlotte Flair. You know what I mean?
But it's a lot of people doing that. A lot of the ladies are calling themselves queens now.
Of
I
course,
know
yeah,
Zelina was saying that too. I mean, I understand she's queen in the ring now,
yeah,
but
yeah.
a
She's
lot of
from
people are
Talent Queen,
saying they're
yeah.
the queen. I think Carmella said it. Like, I don't know what's up with the trend. I don't know if it's supposed to be a dig at Charlotte or it's just
Well, she's been
them
billed
just
as
saying it.
coming from Queens, so that's why she calls her Queen because Queens, New York, when she's actually from Boston. She's not from Queens, and so that's bullshit anyway. Yeah. A lot of them, but Charlotte's calling herself Queen on a whole different level. Like she's literally the Queen of Wrestling, or she's basically the Queen of SmackDown, or Queen of
I
Raw
mean,
if she's on Raw.
how many times has she been champion? Like what, 10, 11, 12 times maybe
I think
already?
13. I think more than 13 or 14 times. Yeah.
Crazy.
And see, I got a problem with that. See, that's not right. She's had all those opportunities when better, more talented female wrestlers should have had opportunities too to hold the belt. But because she's Flair's daughter, there's privilege. Now, Nia Jax being the Rock's cousin, I guess that no one cares now. But the thing is, even though Nia's gone, or no, not to be not to mean to get off topic for a second, but I'm saying, the Rock. I'm pretty sure the Rock can probably get her maybe some movie offers, or get a part.
Probably.
Who knows? But
But I think now that she's released, I think she can have time to really gather herself because
yeah, rest. Yeah, 'cause I'm
she
thinking.
she's
See,
not going to be burnt out
Nia's
from the
probably got enough.
company.
Yeah, Nia's probably got enough money where she probably can save it, and she could probably spend some time to herself, getting herself together and gather her thoughts. And you never know, she may not want to wrestle anymore. You know what I mean?
May not. A lot of
Yeah,
people
and the
get
thing
like
is,
that.
because of her reputation of injuring wrestlers, now they're saying I've heard somebody say indie promoters might be quick to sign her. But going back to Charlotte, you know, I just think Charlotte's a self-entitled brat, at least at this point now. You know what I mean?
But I
So
think I think I hate to say this, but I think that's
yeah,
what makes her great because she is a fucking spoiled brat. I think that's what makes her great. I hate to say it, but I think that's what makes her great. Her being a spoiled brat.
true. Yeah, I mean, on camera, as far as in character, yes,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
but
definitely.
backstage,
Definitely.
business wise, and off camera, no. Because see, if you isolate yourself and then the whole locker room's against you, that's bad. And somewhere down the road, that can come back to bite you. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, but well, look at it like this, okay? She has her boyfriend who's in a different company, right? Maybe she
Yeah,
wants to get to him. She has years left on her contract. How can I get out of this contract? I got to be disruptive. I got to do things that I normally probably wouldn't do. And that could be the reason why she do it. And even if, let's just say WWE just fires her and whatever, at some point, whether it's, a year, a couple of years later, they always come back. They always come back. So I
yeah, of
think
course,
even
yeah.
if she was to
Especially
go
if
away for a while, fans would
yeah,
welcome her back. So I don't really look at it as a big deal.
I think those who come back are the ones who are not making as much money outside the WWE. They
And WWE has no interest in
yeah,
because that's
they need
kind
some
of
quick
what happens
cash.
as
That's
well.
always the
Yeah,
case. But see, I think in Charlotte Flair's case, yeah, she might leave. I don't think I don't think she really wants to. And like I said, the backstage area is not disciplining area. And going back to the releases, you notice she was one of the cuts because you know why? Because she draws ratings, actually draws ratings, draws fans because of her antics and because of who she is. That's
that's
why
true.
they're keeping her. So see, the ones who are bad or probably bad, those are the ones that they keep because everybody on that list, you know, wasn't a big star. I just think Nia Jax burned out her usefulness as far as a character on screen character. So and everybody else was just basically rookies. Some have come,
As long as you look, this
some have
how I
gone back.
feel. As long
Yeah,
as
go
you
ahead.
ain't got Naya talking a whole bunch and just letting her go out there and just kill bitches, I'm fine with that. That's how Naya should have been used. She should have been utilized just to go out there and crush bitches, and that should have just been it. That's what I would have did. I wouldn't have her coming out there talking every week and all that. And I'm not saying she's a bad talker. I'm just saying she doesn't need to talk. Like when you got someone with that figure, that size, like you don't need to talk. Just come out there and, as she say, beat that bitch's ass, and that's all she needs to do. Be destructive, cause havoc, things like that. But that's what I would have did with her.
Of course, yeah. And there's if somebody would have utilized that mentality and given her a creative direction based on that, maybe she would still be around, and she probably would be more popular as a heel and probably more respected. But it is what it is. And Charlotte Flair, Charlotte Flair is going to be Charlotte Flair, who ironically I don't think was on SmackDown tonight. I didn't see her on SmackDown
Okay.
tonight because Roman Reigns came back. So I'm guessing Charlotte had the night off. I didn't see the man either. So I
Okay.
guess maybe they're letting him cool off. Now I'm surprised Naomi is still has a job. I figured she'd be a cut too, but I guess I guess maybe the
Nah.
whole storyline with her and Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
I guess that's maybe getting some traction. I mean, personally, I don't agree with it. I don't like it.
It's getting.
Her
I tell
job now
you.
dropping out. Oh, go ahead.
I tell you one thing is getting a lot of people emotionally invested. A lot of people are really upset with that storyline. Even like wrestlers outside of WWE, like even some of them are invested. Like if you look on Twitter, you have people making commentary like, "Oh my God, I'm not liking this," and I like where it's going. I mean, they're really making Naomi. You know, they're really getting a lot of sympathy for her. You know, that's why I said WWE. Whenever they want to do something good, they know how to do it, and if they just want to fuck something up, they can do that too. That's why I get so mad and frustrated with WWE. That's one of the reasons I said, you know, I went on my rant, one of my videos. I was like, because they know what they're doing. They just choose not to do it. And this Naomi thing, her and Sonya, you know, is working out. And it's kind of crazy because, you know, what was it, last year or 2 years ago, the whole situation that happened with Sonya. Sonya had a lot of sympathy and things like that. A lot of fans were, you know, were feeling bad for her, you know, I think because of the whole crazy dude that tried to kidnap her or talk to her or some weird shit, some creepy weirdo. But, you know, she got a lot of sympathy from fans and things like that. And then now she's on the roster. Now people are like starting to hate her. Like, oh my God, Sonya Deville, she keeps screwing over Naomi. Oh my God, I wish she would stop doing that. And when you can make fans turn and get emotionally invested in the storyline, you're doing something good. Because I think when it comes to WWE, a lot of people don't really care for the matches too much. The match itself is like, you know, if it's good, that's fine. But I think it's the storyline that gets a lot of
Yeah,
people emotionally invested.
I hear what you're saying. Thing is, I'm not emotionally invested in or like it because it's Sonya Deville and Naomi. It's not very exciting to me, but I understand if others like it. I mean, I've seen it before anyway. You've seen it before in different situations years ago with different women, different people, with the males. You
Okay.
know, we had Stephanie McMahon. No, she was the power general manager. That's what Sonya Deville is. Like she's
Yeah.
the general manager now. So she's the latest general manager, longest general manager that they've had, along with Adam Pierce. You know, who you don't see now due to Brock Lesnar being suspended.
Oh,
You know, for the which now that was entertaining when Brock Lesnar was beating the shit out of him. That was entertaining. See, I got to see Brock Lesnar is of course, he comes from the old school of wrestlers. I basically like watching that gets me invested. You know what I mean? Because they're violent. I mean, they're big, yeah, but they're violent. You know,
exactly.
they're not bullshitting around. It's not a comedy
Exactly.
promo. He beat the shit out of him and said, "Can you repeat what you said again?" And just bam again. I'm like, yes, do it.
That's the one thing a lot of people love about Brock. He just come up in there, destruction, chaos. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you want. That's what you want from your bigger guys, especially like I can't tell if Brock is a face or a heel. I think he's just in the middle right now. He just beats
No,
up
he's a face
anybody.
now because he's beating people. Beating people that the fans don't like. So he's a face right now because he wants another shot at Roman Reigns or the
Of
belt.
course. Of
And the
course.
thing is, to me, Brock Lesnar is the best thing that they've got all around. Not Charlotte Flair,
Yeah,
not
definitely.
even Roman Reigns, because Brock Lesnar is the biggest draw. He's
Of
just,
course.
I think what it is. He's earned for the years. He's earned his just like Taker earned. He's earned the right to wrestle when he wants, show up when he wants. He probably has creative freedom, so he's got it all. That's why he
I
has,
ain't
like,
mad at him for that.
yeah, of course. Yeah. And then you
I
know what?
ain't mad at him
I
for
bet you he
that.
makes the most money. Maybe that's why he got budget cuts because he makes the most money. So that's why all those other
That's
people,
true.
veterans and rookies, are being cut. So he probably has the biggest contract. I'm guessing he still makes more than Roman Reigns, despite Roman Reigns being the lead heel for the most part. You know, the tribal chief.
But
You know, and
I think in due time, like when Roman Reigns like probably starts becoming not full time, part time, he'll probably fill that role. Like because I've been noticing that like a lot of people they're like full time and they wrestle, and then all of a sudden they become part time. They still getting a lot of money and things like that, even though they're part time. And then you know the generation that's coming up is working towards you know trying to get to that status. So I'm not mad at it. I want to be Brock Lesnar though, show up when I want to, kick ass when I want to, and things like that. So
yeah, see, I'm pretty sure that whole storyline for him to be suspended was him. He's going to be off for a while again. You might not see him until months
of
later,
course,
and
of
a pay per view
course,
like maybe the Royal Rumble like that, something like that. You know. So yeah, so see that's then I ain't mad at him either. That's good. See, at least you can work when you want to, and see, like I said, it's because of who he is. Everybody else is basically
exactly.
small potatoes. But like I said, Mayim and the mother Keith Lee don't deserve that, like I said, Keith Lee just got there, or he just got back. Miami could use him a year, but it is what it is.
Keith Lee, that situation makes me mad all over because he came in very charismatic and things like that, and they tried to change him, and then they changed him, and then the COVID thing happened, and then they changed him again, and then he lost all of his momentum. They took his song away, which killed like 90% of his momentum, personal opinion.
Wow. Yep.
And then they tried to have him do the Bearcat thing. I understand he was making a tribute to a former wrestler, but
actually, he said to a fan on Twitter that wasn't his idea to use Bearcat. Wasn't his idea. A fan said, he actually responded to the fan. He said the fan wasn't his idea. Once again, WWE creative. So
that's true.
So there you go. So it's like the people you release who are trying to come up, you basically screwed the pooch with them with the creative, and then you had to kick them out the door because I guess they're not being a bigger stars or they're not a big draw to line your pockets. But like I said, your pockets are getting lined from those big revenue numbers though for some reason.
That's true.
I just don't understand that. I mean, from our point of view, from what we see in the media, so we don't understand it. But then I'm pretty sure there's more behind the scenes on those calls and business as far as budgets.
That's what I said.
Those millions are coming in, but I'm guessing those millions are being paid out too at the same time.
Oh, that's
and
true.
I'm pretty sure the board of directors, Vince himself and his family, are getting some of the millions of bonuses. And it's like this. You ever see Swordfish? The movie Swordfish? Remember that?
No.
I'm guessing. Okay, no, with John Travolta, Halle Berry, and all them. If you remember that, also Hugh Jackman was in it. Well, anyway,
I would have to say it.
Yeah, John Travolta plays a very cold-blooded, special type anti-hero type character where he's got a lot of money. He changes identity. He's changed his identity so many times, but he's got a lot of money. And what is Hugh Jackman's a down on his luck guy who's been in prison. He has a daughter whose mother has her in California, but the mother's like drunk and she's like a porn star too. So he wants to get his daughter out of that. Halle Berry, who works for John Travolta's character, makes him an offer, to get his daughter back, which is money, $10,000 just to meet the guy, and then $10 million to hack into a computer system to get him a worm, which gets money, and that's what Swordfish is.
Oh,
so like I said, by the end of the movie, Hugh Jackman's character is $10 million richer. He gets his arms back, but John Travolta's character is some kind of cold. Like I said, it's kind of like that. You know what I mean? It's what they do is they take all these billions of dollars and they spread them evenly over the account. So I'm guessing that's what happens to those millions is they're spread out evenly amongst the board of directors, the stock market shareholders, all
that's
even.
True.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's right. There's a budget. So yeah, WWE on the surface may look glamorous, and like I said, Fox paid Vince $1 billion for 5 years. That $1 billion has to go out probably in bills to other folks. But still, to me, for Fox, that was a bad investment.
Because you got the advertisers, you got all of that you got to...
advertisers, sponsors. Like I said, it was a bad investment for Fox, and like I said, I don't know if you've seen the articles, but even Fox said they were mad about WWE not signing CM Punk. They were mad about they were mad at them about a lot of things about certain moves.
But Fox knew better. They knew it was a bad investment, but they still went through and did it anyway. So they got themselves to blame.
They say the wrestling's still good entertainment. And then, like, you got Pat McAfee called baseball stupid because they were on for once in the World Series. Now, Pat McAfee, you can't call a real sport, mind you. Keyword real sport. You can't call a real sport stupid. A sport that gets 10 times the viewership that SmackDown basically wish it could get.
WWE wishes they could get that.
Baseball isn't scripted. I mean, think about this. If you're a real sports fan, which are you more likely to choose to watch? WWE SmackDown or the World Series? No, the average fan is going to probably choose the World Series. That's more exciting. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's not. But that's just my opinion. But anyway. Next topic I want to go to is Bray Wyatt, the Fiend.
Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. Now, I hate that character.
Yeah, no. The thing is, stories coming out now that Vince McMahon didn't like the way Bray Wyatt speaking up on creative issues. Plus, people backstage saying Bray Wyatt was difficult to get along with at the end of his run. And this
I
is all coming
bet.
out. This is all coming out
I
now, months
I
after
bet.
almost a month or two after his release.
I bet. I
Because
believe it.
before
I
he was
believe it.
released, yeah, before he was released, I mean, I think for the most part, he seemed like he was a nice guy because he was very popular. His merchandise was selling like hotcakes, but also people said he had weight issues, and so if this all factors in and it's true, then basically he was a star, another star that developed a big head due to his popularity. But the thing is, he worked hard to get to where he's at. Because remember Husky Harris,
Husky
from
Harris,
yeah,
another
Husky Harris from
another terrible name.
yeah, no,
Another
Husky Harris from the Nexus at the time. He was
Jesus
coming up, like I said,
Christ.
because back then you had Wade Barrett and you had Heath Slater, the only people coming up. So he paid his dues and came up. The Wyatt family was a brilliant faction, a brilliant creative idea, a brilliant character, and I've heard that character he created from his own mind. So and even though they broke up, he evolved the character. Now, what killed the momentum was pairing him with John Cena. That's what killed it right there to me. The whole John Cena program when John Cena was still full time. That killed him. But when you paired him with Alexa Bliss and you made him the Mr. Rogers with that stupid Firefly Funhouse, which was okay. I'm admit that was kind of funny because because remember he was like all bye, and then he was all serious and
Yeah.
mean. That was kind of good because it was kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde, Freddy Krueger type thing. You know what I mean? Freddy calming in, full of rage. That was okay. But when you paired him with Alexa Bliss, to me, that was a recipe for everything going south later on. And of course, see, he got released. She didn't carry on with the same character, but at least now I'm glad she was beaten off TV and basically I guess gonna come back repackaged. But your thoughts on the Fiend issue?
They always say somebody is difficult to work with. Like, what does that even mean? I'm so tired of hearing that. And then the weight issues. I don't understand the weight issues because every time he came back, he looked slimmer, he looked more jacked, he looked more in shape. So I don't know what the
I
issue is
guess
as
they didn't
far
see it
as
that
weight
way.
goes.
I guess they didn't see it that way. That's why he wore a big costume because
But look
maybe
at him. He was
maybe
like,
he was hiding his stomach. Maybe the stomach was growing.
please, that man was in tremendous shape. Like every time he took time away and came back, yeah, he was looking nice. So I don't know what it is. Difficult to work with. I think anytime people don't feel WWE's creative direction, they always say, this person's difficult to work with because he didn't like what we presented. Like the writing is bad, in which most cases the writing it usually is pretty bad because they're going for uh they're going for drama. They're going for stuff like that. They're not writing a wrestling show. They're writing for TV shows. Like wrestling fans, we kind of don't really care too much. Like we like good storylines and things like that, but we don't really care too much for like General Hospital type writing. We don't really care for that type of stuff. But there is a
That's all we get.
demographic. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a demographic that do like that type of stuff. But for the most part, we don't really care for it. So whenever you see something like that, it's always going to be looked at as work, difficult to work with. I mean, you've had guys like Bray Wyatt. You even had a big guy like Stone Cold Steve Austin always say creative was terrible. Well, not always, but he had issues with creative. You had, I hate to say his name, but CM Punk. CM Punk used to say creative was bad. John Moxley saying creative is bad. All these people can't be lying. They're all saying the same thing. They're all pointing in one direction. They're saying it's the creative that's really, really bad, and all those people can't be lying. Like at some point, you got to be like, okay, our creative is bad, but WWE got a lot of demographics that they're trying to appease to. So, as much as I want to get on creative, I understand like there's certain parts of the wrestling show that you're not going to be interested in, and I just think the soap opera thing, I'm not interested in, but there's a fan base for it, so I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I didn't see a lot of bad creative for Stone Cold. I think I remember that show they were doing like on that A&E show for Stone Cold. They did one for Austin and Michaels.
Okay.
Stone Cold I think also got burned out, and
Oh
maybe
yeah,
ideas
definitely.
and maybe ideas as time went on. Maybe ideas were bad, but we didn't see them. I didn't see anything bad. I was always very. That era was the last time I was emotionally invested and thoroughly entertained by wrestling. So Stone Cold to me, I had it the best. CM Punk, I think when his push started, everything was good. But as the time went on, maybe it got bad. Yes, John Moxley, the Shield, the whole Shield thing was great. It's like the opposite of the Wyatt family. Instead of backwoods hillbilly looking, and creepy looking, it was basically I guess a wrestling version of SWAT. That's what the Shield was. Three guys in black and black SWAT clothes minus the guns and batons and helmets. So but you had the whole theme song where it's like somebody walking talking, Solo two, Shield, and then but anyway.
Taz's music slowed down.
Yeah, minus the beep, beep.
Yeah, still surprises me till this day. And I remember when it first came out, I was like, why do I know this? But I could not put my finger on it until I seen it. And then they said it was Taz's music slowed down. And then I listened to it and I was like, that's why I recognize this beat so why this is why I recognize this the lining of it. I was like, okay, it makes sense.
I recognize that. I mean, I've heard Taz's theme, but it's totally different from the Shield. But I guess
but it's faster.
Okay, I didn't pick up on that. I didn't consider that. I mean, it sounds like a totally different song to me. But hey,
if
it is.
When you speed things down or when you fast them, I mean, you slow them down or you fast them up, it could make a tune sound different than what it is.
I get you. Okay. Hey. Well, they did the thing. I guess maybe now they're recycling themes, they're taking beats from themes and sampling them for new themes.
That ain't surprising. They've done it plenty of times before. Look at Kurt Angle.
Now, I haven't heard any theme sound like him. All I know is
the Patriot. The Patriot. Kurt Angle's theme is a remake of the Patriot.
The Patriot, the guys with the mask, the guy who was WWE. I mean, we saw him without the mask, but it was a documentary where he said we talked about steroids, something like that. I remember that. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't watch the Patriot too much, but I was still probably pretty young, so I couldn't recognize the theme. I don't remember his theme. I'm pretty sure I can find it on YouTube, but
definitely you listen to it, you be like, oh shit, this you have a lot of that.
Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that. Like I said, the Patriot was so long ago. And he wasn't nobody I remember, unless somebody like, he just brought him up. But like I said, to me, Bray Wyatt, I mean, well, hey, if he, like I said, yeah, he's listed also as a budget cut. Also, he had an issue over management with his burned suit. Remember when Randy Orton burned him at SummerSlam and he came back in a burned suit, burned mask?
Yeah,
he had an issue with the suit. It says right here, Wyatt was frustrated with the size, weight, and movement of the burned Fiend suit, and reportedly the creative team agreed that the suit was too heavy and that it was going to look bad and difficult to move inside of it. The first idea for the suit was scrapped because of this. It says, while the claim from WWE management was that Wyatt was relieved due to budget cuts, people in the company did not believe this, and there's a feeling that there were other issues that led to his release. Of course, yeah, they're saying his weight issues, and it also said they also claimed his in-ring work was an issue too. I'm like, wow, okay.
I definitely don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
He could wrestle. His wrestle was good. Like I said, that finish move where he kissed your head, and then it was a Sister Abigail. Speaking of Sister Abigail, it would have been an awesome character if they'd have thought of it, or if she wanted to come to WWE. Rosemary, I think, would have been an awesome Sister Abigail because of her personality.
I think so too.
Yeah, but like I said, she's happy where she is, and that's a good thing. She's happy with that impact. So Rosemary, don't come to WWE.
I think Taya should go back to Impact because that's where she was really doing her thing on Impact.
Yeah,
so
I think Ty Valkyrie. I think we'll see Ty Valkyrie back in Impact again. Like I said, so she has someplace to go. Why she came to WWE, I will never know.
Probably for money. Maybe
or money, probably try to become a star. But look what happened.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Wow. In the chat, we'll send a shout out to the channel, Brothers World Order. What's up? Anyway, those are the main topics. Are there any topics you want to discuss?
Yes, and I want to talk about the releases a little bit. Okay,
go ahead.
She's my girl, and I love her daily, but I'm gonna have to bring it up. Ember Moon, man, that just
Yeah,
That
yeah,
upsetted me. But the part that upsets me the most is you seeing a lot of people saying, "Okay, that's what she gets. She deserves to be fired because she copied off of Kara Hogan's look." I don't know how else to say it. Like she copied her look and things like that. And for fans to even say stuff like that, I just think that's just very ignorant. I felt that both of them, had a similar thing with the whole girl on fire thing, but to be happy that somebody lost their job, I just think it's really ignorant. I just wanted to put that out there.
yeah. Here's the right here. Star Ember Moon has been released by WWE. Moon tweeted, "All I can do is laugh." Uh, I don't know about laughing. I'd probably be crying, but then again, it could be to everybody who got released. It's a blessing in disguise. You
Because
can
they
basically
probably looking at it. They probably
yeah.
looking at it like this is ridiculous. Like, what dumb shit are we getting, released or fired for? Like, what dumb reason is it now? Are y'all going to use the same lame excuse? Like, I think when you see something so much, you can't help but just laugh at it. You don't even get mad. You just laugh at it. So I could see, uh,
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with BFAB. I just seen her on the roster just this week. So I'm not familiar with her.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the chat.
All right. Here's Booker T's reaction. I hate to see it. Ember Moon, she's one of mine. So Booker T, I think, trained her or helped train her. So I definitely hate to see her get released. One thing I always teach my girls is when your talent cream rises to the top and you'll find a spot somewhere, Ember, she's going to be okay. The business decisions as far as Scarlett, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know the behind the scenes dealings with that go on with stuff like that. Frankie Monage or Monet, I thought she was talent. I thought she was money. I doubt that. I thought she fit right in and she was doing a great job. She was one of the
That's
girls I
what I
thought
thought too.
you could do pretty much anything with as far as title picture, angle wise, working and with bringing somebody up. I tell you, the
Hmm.
business has changed. The business is totally different than it was back in the day. Job security these days is nowhere near what it was back in the day. That's due to, man, I hate to say it. I hate to even talk like that, but just say, for instance, Ember Moon, Scarlet, Valkyrie, they've been out there, but their names hadn't been out there enough to where they're made to where these are people we can't get rid of, or these are people we can't replace. He goes on and on for a little more, but the thing is, I think when Ember Moon was on the main roster, and this is before COVID hit, Ember Moon, I think some fans, she got a reaction, and then I think some fans supported her and liked her. They didn't really have anything to put. They didn't. I think creative didn't come up with anything to try to push her or to go anywhere with her. And plus, also, you got to factor in the other issue. Ember Moon is black, and despite WWE,
And she became very injury prone too.
yeah,
So
that's it. So yeah, she was
we got to
injured, right?
add that
Yeah,
to a factor. But I
sound
still
like an
think it
NFL
sucks.
football player.
I still think they could have done a lot more with her. And I'm still mad I ain't get her versus Naomi. I'm still mad I ain't get that match to this day. I'm still mad. I'm still mad.
Yeah, injury prone or not. Also, like I said, creative only pushes those they can see. I guess they can see a marketing future with. And see, Charlotte Flair, like I said, Ric Flair's daughter, they saw something with her. They knew that was going to be money in a much long run. Ember
Hmm.
Moon came from the Indies. She used to be in Shimmer, and I read about her in the magazine. Very talented, but see, coming into the WWE world, I mean, you can put the makeup on her, have her, the whole werewolf gimmick. Because remember, she came out to the dark, like you said, moon, like she had the eyelids, like she like glowing.
Yeah.
So you can do all that, but wrestling wise, and you almost hardly ever heard her talk or cut a promo. You almost
No.
knew she
That's
wasn't
not
going
her
anywhere.
strong point. That's
Right?
not her
Yeah,
strong point. Even
you
when she
almost
came
knew.
back from
Yeah.
injury, it
Hmm.
just was never her strong
You almost
point.
knew she wasn't going anywhere. And then when you go back to NXT, that's basically the same thing as a demotion. And then they even said this article even said she was being phased out due to the rebranding with NXT 2.0. So that means
Yeah.
she's hardly being used. So
But
right there, see, I
and then
think
they split the team with her and the other girl. Uh Why am I drawing a blank? Girl, chick with the green hair.
Oh, Shotzi Blackheart.
There you go. I'm like, why am I drawing a blank? I'm like, okay, because I wanted to get that shirt that they made, but you know, it was kind of sold out in my size, so I was never able to get it, which kind of sucks. But that's just another talented person gone from WWE, and it's
Oh
sad.
yes, yeah. Look, speaking of Shotzi Blackheart, you see what you see they did already with her. They split her and a tag team partner up, and now they turned her heel because last Friday she had a match with Charlotte Flair. Sasha Banks apparently was in Shotzi's corner or something, but Sasha made a mistake apparently, and Sasha turned heel and beat the shit out of Sasha Banks right there in the corner. Which of course I didn't mind seeing, because I don't particularly care for Sasha Banks nowadays anyway.
AKA Snoop Dogg Jr. as
Yeah, see
a person would say.
that's her clout right there. She's Snoop's cousin, cause see, and Snoop is a big celebrity.
Oh my God, Snoop Dogg Jr. I still will never get over that. I
Yeah,
still never.
but going back to Ember Moon,
Oh
to
man,
me a waste of talent. Now I like to see her end up in AEW. I think she could shine there if they use her right, and if somebody could create I think what it is any wrestler can get over. They just have to have that
whoa,
basically marketing attractive emotionally investment, like as you said, emotionally investment quality that attracts a fan. I think Ember Moon had a good gimmick, had a good image, but she didn't have a quality trait that can attract. Like I said, it's not all her fault. It's actually none of it's her fault because she had no creative control. She had no clout. This is WWE. WWE just feels some people that they can push, some people they can't, and they just phase them out and then they release them.
pretty much. I
So
think me personally, I wouldn't mind seeing her in Impact.
yeah,
I need Ember and Natasha Stills match. I need that match.
okay.
I'm over here fantasy booking right now. I'm sorry, I'm fantasy booking.
Probably, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I think she'd work good in Impact. Thing is, Impact into popular anymore like it used to be. It's not as good as it used to be.
I still watch. I still
Yeah,
watch.
I try to watch it every now and
I
then.
still
Even when
watch.
I watch it, I get bored. Even the pay per views, I can't watch the pay per views
I don't try to think of it like that. I just try to look at it as a nice, you know, decent wrestling show and just move on. Cause if I start looking at it and I start nitpicking, I'm not gonna like it. So I try not to like even if I was to, you know, suddenly watch WWE, I try not to nitpick things because I know if I nitpick it, I'm not gonna enjoy it. So I'm like, you know what, rather than do that, let me just look at it unbiased. Let me not nitpick on a botch. Let me not nitpick on a weak ass punch or whatever. I try not to do that.
I got you. I found it hard to watch after a while because when everybody I used to like and watch left, that's when it got boring. And then they moved to Canada, and then of course COVID hit. It didn't have the same feel as it did before when it was
No,
TNA. When it was TNA Impact, when you had Mike Tenay and Don West on the commentary, I miss those two
definitely.
guys.
Definitely.
I can't get into D'Lo Brown and the other guy who you see in
I
WWE
love
too.
D'Lo Brown, so
Yeah,
he's my
he's
guy.
okay, but I mean Josh Matthews was bad enough, but I didn't like him too much either. But Ember Moon and Impact, yeah, I, I could
I
see
think
that.
she can have some good
Yeah.
matches with a lot of the ladies there.
Mm-hmm.
I think she can do well in AEW as well. As long as the only thing is with AEW, they don't really, this is my personal opinion, they don't really focus on a women's division like that. Like you have
True,
people
yeah.
that they have there that, you know, are good, but they don't
You
really
got
focus
Hiroshita.
in on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hiroshita who's on here, and then you have and then see AEW is like TNA. Wrestlers can wrestle there and they can wrestle anywhere because
Yep.
a lot of them you don't see on the main show yet. You see them on Dark. Like I said, see, it's not a Rose you don't see until a lot of times unless
I
it's on the
know.
YouTube show.
And I'm still mad. Let me bring this up. Let me bring this
Okay.
up because they had a wrestling show here in Brooklyn, right? I didn't get a picture with Big Swole. I'm still mad at myself for it. I still didn't get a picture with Tasha Stills. I'm still mad at that. There's a few other people in there that I didn't get pictures with. Faye Jackson, I'm still mad. I'm like, fuck, I wish I could have gotten pictures with them. But I mean, yes, you're right. Even though they work for AEW, they do go out, they do travel, they do tour different places, different venues, they have matches and stuff like that. So even though you may not see them on TV, don't think that they're not working. They are working and they busting their ass. So got to give a lot of credit to a lot of people. Even Shane Taylor, him and his crew is working. That's why I got STP in my my name here. So
Oh,
even though
cool.
those
Yeah.
guys are on TV, like even though people aren't on TV, may not be on TV a lot, they're still going around, they're still touring, they're still doing their thing, kicking ass and, giving fans a show, to watch. And the one thing I did not realize when I went to a live show that doesn't really show on TV, you don't realize how hard that ring really is until you go to a show. If it was one thing that I noticed when like the rings, like you think when you hear it, it doesn't sound that tough, but when you're there, you can hear that ring in full effect. Like they're really moving. They're really moving, and that ring is really hard. Like I was like, y'all really get slammed. I was like, oh.
I remember because I remember the first match I ever went to. My father took me. It was NWA National Wrestling Alliance. I was born in '71. I went to my first match, I think, when I was like almost 13, 14. My sister and my older brother took me.
God damn,
It was NWA Wrestling, April 17th, 1987. I saw the main event. I saw Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors versus Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and Lex Luger. I had
God
a blast.
damn, you old enough to be my dad, yo.
Yeah. I just turned.
I was literally born in '87.
Okay, I turned 50 this year. Yeah, but I've been to several. I saw War Games live. I saw Sting. I saw Magnum TA. I saw Dick Murdoch. I saw Wahoo McDaniel. I saw the Russians. I saw Vladimir Petrov. I saw Ivan
So you're
Koloff.
seeing a lot of legends there, though.
Yeah, I saw Nikita Koloff. I saw the Horsemen. I mean, I had a blast. I mean, like I said, back in the day, that's when it was good. I mean, I mean, almost every storyline, every match, I got emotionally invested in. That's how good it was back then. Because it is just garbage now. But I got emotionally invested in almost every character, heel or face, even when I boot them. I mean, Flair, you can, Rock and Roll Express. I saw them, Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express. Like I said, not just promo wise, they could all talk. The match was good. See, and you don't have that now. And you know what? You will never have that again.
I don't think you would.
So the NWA WCW was just it was awesome. Like I said, see, going back to Ember Moon again, Ember Moon and Ty Valkyrie, yes, they're veterans. They're 10-year veterans. They were all mature. But the thing is, they came in. Ty Valkyrie, the blonde hair, glamour image. I almost knew that was doomed right from the start. And then carrying a little small puppy, you're basically a Paris Hilton. You're basically becoming the Paris Hilton of wrestling. That's a Paris Hilton gimmick, a character.
That name was a doom.
Yeah, I
still can't get over that name, yo.
That was just doom. Basically, all she is basically a bigger blonde version of Eva Marie. I mean, she can wrestle better than Eva Marie. She's better wrestling than Eva Marie for sure. Because she has some skill. She got size. So, but it wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be anything more than what it was, what you had for that small time. And then even her husband Morrison, what the hell is he doing with him? Every time you see him now, it's a segment. He's back there in a squat position, like he's meditating.
I'm still mad at what they did doing to Morrison. I'm still mad. I'm still mad at what they doing to Jeff Hardy. I'm mad at a lot of things. So,
you saw him tonight. Jeff Hardy was tonight, but he was in a back segment, with this new girl and Sami Zayn. She was trying to give some girl advice, and that's all the time we saw. But see, Jeff Hardy's a veteran too. See, that's why they've been jobbing him out to the guy doing the selfies,
Austin Theory, aka a fake ass Tyler Breeze, and they put a tweet out there saying, "Have you ever seen a person take a selfie before a match or something like that?" And a lot of people got on the comment section and kept showing gifs and photos of Tyler Breeze. I think it was classic. I thought it was legendary. Even I put it. I'm like, because that was the first thing I thought. I was like, Tyler Breeze. Like that's the first person I think of when I see a person Fandango, with a selfie. And fans was
as a tag team, Fandango did the same thing, because
fans was getting on them.
Breeze had a selfie stick for a while. That's
exactly.
Mm-hmm. They call it Tyler Breeze 2.0. They said brother gotten Huggins in the chat. But anyway, like I said, So basically, he's basically copying off an old gimmick that basically, I guess, didn't fly too well, except maybe NXT when they demoted him to NXT. Fandango.
And they think fans forget this stuff. That's the part that makes me laugh with WWE. They act like fans forget stuff. Like they don't forget shit. Yeah,
And Jeff Hardy being jobbed out to him is basically his way of getting a small push. So I guess maybe Vince likes him. He's invested in
for
him.
Now.
For now, yeah.
We'll like him for a week or two, and then also okay.
They can't cut the whole roster. I don't what I mean? Like I said, see, if you cut too much of the roster, you're not gonna have anybody left. But now also for Hit Row, B-Fab, She just got there, and they said
She
she had just
literally
signed a new
just got
contract.
there.
She just signed a new contract a week earlier before the release.
Yeah,
Why you gonna have her sign a goddamn contract and then release her a week later?
that's got to
That
be
makes no sense.
humiliating. That's got to be humiliating. I'm
That's
sorry.
embarrassing.
I
Yeah,
would
she's
be
a rookie,
mad.
but yeah, give her a chance to do something first. I mean, you brought her in with a faction just to release her. But they already said that her being released from the company and being split from a Hit Row, they said Hit Row has now been turned into a sinking trio. So apparently, expect Hit Row to disappear real fast. And I believe that.
Gonna be another faction, aka another tag team that WWE done ruined.
And the
Jesus
funny thing is,
Christ.
they're African American faction. And you notice for a brief second they brought back the Hurt Business for a few matches but of course that died down quickly too because MVP left for surgery. Bobby Lashley, we don't know where he is. Maybe he's
They don't have no more. They don't have no momentum. They when they had the momentum and things were going, they should have just kept.
And the
They should have never changed.
The shirts were selling.
That's why I'm glad I was at least able to get one of them because I was like, I gotta get at least one of these shirts.
It just wouldn't be from WWE.com. I probably get one outside WWE. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they're probably still selling it because if you really want one, you can probably find one. So
I hope so.
I
actually just bought a shirt today.
Okay, you did. Okay, go.
Well, not WWE, but I just bought a Shane Taylor promotion shirt today, so happy about that.
Yeah, so Hit Row is going to be Hit No eventually for sure.
Shit, it might even turn to Death Row. It'd be dead in like 2 weeks.
Death Row Records, yeah. And they said one of them dudes, the big dude, they're saying this Vince wants to see him as a solo star. See,
that's the stuff that annoys me. Like the teams don't even get time to establish themselves, and then they want to split them. It just aggravates me. I mean, you do have tag teams, right, where you see one person as the star or can be a star. There are tag teams like that exist. Prime example, the Street Profits. Montez, like you could see star written all over him, but I wouldn't just break up the Street Profits just to try to boost the stock up right now.
Because the other guy, he's entertaining too. I mean, you can tell Montez Ford is the leader though.
He's good, but
he has the more charisma than his partner. See, the partner is all
exactly.
What's up, fam? It's like I don't think he can go any further with any more personality than what you see with him. But Montez Ford is basically the charismatic one of the two.
Exactly.
So and look at this. You notice weeks ago or almost half a month ago when he was getting jumped, you saw his partner nowhere around. So it's been said that it should be suggested that Montez should go ahead and turn heel on him, and so he can go by himself. But that would make sense to me. At this point, like I said, go ahead and break him up. Like I said, Montez Ford is the one that can I think can go by himself.
He don't need to be a heel. He's a self-made babyface. You do not have to turn him.
Yeah.
You would turn why am I forgetting everybody's name tonight? I need to put some respect on their name. But his partner.
Turn his partner. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know his partner's name either. I mean, I know him, but like I said, see, that's they see. You know why you don't know his name? Because you can't see him. See, Montez Ford is the one that you can see. See, he's the one that you want to remember. The partner is there. He's just bland. He's just bland. He's not.
I think because I think he compliments Montez Ford. I feel he compliments him. He doesn't hurt him. He just compliments him. And I think if you take him away, it's gonna be hard for him to like establish himself on his own. I mean, he could turn around, and be that guy. But for right now, he's more of the backup role. Like he's the. I don't want to. Is backup role too rude? I don't want to be rude or disrespectful, but him, being a background guy is kind of his thing, his role. Like it fits him. It makes him good. But yeah, hopefully they do something. And I mean, WWE needs tag teams. I mean, their tag division is just. It feels like it's depleting every day.
That's true. Yeah, in the chat, I want to shout out, welcome Jonathan Hills. What's up? Yeah, Montez Ford against Street Profits speaking of Street Profits, in the chat mentioned Brother Huggins mentioned Crime Time. Now I miss them. They were good and they were funny. The crime, remember? Yo, 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 it's crime time. See, that was funny. And to me, the highlight of their career is the night that Lita had her last match at Survivor Series with Mickey James. And they came out there and they did a wholesale, literally, and keyword hoe. That was hilarious.
And they never won a tag team championships, which still pisses me off to this day.
I know. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. See, maybe back then that wasn't gonna happen. See, they couldn't. WWE. It's like this. Even this is why WWE to me is racist, because look at their gimmick. They build them as two ghetto street thugs that always stole stuff. So see, it was funny and they could wrestle, but the whole character gimmick thing was, it was a stereotyped. It was a racist stereotyped gimmick. So you kind of saw that coming. So but see, even now the Street Profits. Think about this: they call them Street Profits. So it's still kind of ghettoish. The only difference is they're not robbing nobody and they're not doing crime, but it's still it's Street Profits.
And then you got
something else. You know what I mean?
And then you got Hit Row.
What makes them Street Profits? That's another thing. See, I get the gimmick and the image, and the character, but to me, Street Profits doesn't fit. That still sounds stereotypical, ghettoish.
It does. Same thing with Hit Row.
Like I said, it is what it is. And of course, though, Montez is lucky because he got that fine ass Bianca Belair.
I'm not the biggest Bianca Belair fan, but that woman is fine. I gotta give her credit for that.
I would lose that jump rope troll weave. I think that's a little much, but that's just me.
I just hate how they try to use it against her. Like that irritates me. That like every 5 seconds, everybody's pulling her hair. Like, come on, man. Come on, it's being used as a weapon.
The hair's so long, you can play jump rope with it. You know what I mean? Have to do this. 1, 2. Yeah. Anyway, that's just a thought. But anyway, you heard this? Michael Cole has lost 65% of his hearing.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he's dealing with 65% of hearing loss. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because having Vince McMahon screaming in his ear for 25 years on a headset. Yeah. He must be losing hearing in one side of his ear.
I lose my fucking hearing too. And I've always given Michael Cole credit. I never like got on him like, oh my God, Michael Cole sucks. I know a lot of people get on him about it. And it's kind of messed up that he's been dealing with that for a lot of years, and then he came out and says he has like an earpiece that he puts underneath like the headset and stuff like that. So
because I'm thinking when he first came out, he had all his hearing. His hearing was healthy, but over the years, and Vince yelling in his ear or whatever, I think somebody headsets probably the volume of headsets. Yeah, probably after a while it strains on the eardrum. And the thing is, he's been there since he was there in the Attitude Era.
He is. He's the
only superstar, literally, or announcer who has staying the test of time. I think he's been there 20 years now. That's never happened. And actually, there's one announcer is actually quit in one after his release. You know what I mean? He they said it several days ago before the mass exodus just now.
Oh wow.
So Michael Cole, you gotta say he's literally one of the lucky few, and I mean lucky few.
Lucky few because they had people.
Go ahead.
They've had people that's been in there just as long or longer, and they got released. Referees, agents, wrestlers, I guess.
Undertaker.
Like they've had people that's been in WWE for a long time, and unfortunately, they had to, they got the axe. So big ups to Michael Cole. Yeah. Coal mine all day. Coal mine all day.
Yeah, coal miners. Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah, that was.
I still think it was funny.
Yeah, it was funny,
it was cheesy, but it was funny.
It was too funny because all you do is take your last time and coal miner because coal miner is actual occupation too. So coal miners. Yeah. Trying to turn him heel didn't work. I mean, it was kind of funny at first. I chuckled at it at first, but I got bored real fast. I said, okay, you need to. Anyway, to me, some announcers, some announcers who are turn heel don't work. See, Bobby Heenan as a heel announcer worked. That worked like magic. Of course, he had Gorilla Monsoon. So and in real life, they were best of friends. They were like brothers. They're best friends. That's why that worked. See, Bobby
I
Heenan
think if you,
was
I
the
think,
guy for heel. He was hilarious.
I think if you find, if you like, as far as the commentary goes, if you find a duo, which I think they should go back to, that the whole trio thing just does nothing for me. But if you have the duo that has chemistry together, it can work. Like you said, Gorilla and Bobby, they worked. Jim Ross, King, they worked. Taz and Michael Cole, those are my favorite too, because they're very underrated. But I think those two complemented. I feel like those two complemented each other very, very well.
And Taz also could be funny. I remember on the pay-per-view I watched the Hooters. He actually called called the wrestler an asshole on the commentary. I like, and people in Hooters just holler loud and say, "Oh hell yeah, that's
exactly
real."
That's what I'm saying.
He's really real. See, I've never heard no announcer say asshole. And look at AEW. You're actually allowed now to say shit. The SH word. I'm like, that's when I saw that. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, I'm looking forward to the day where they allow them to say the F word. But see, I think that's never going to happen. But
I don't mind the F word. It don't bother me.
Yeah, no. Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura. Those two were hilarious. But Jesse was also a heel announcer. But see, they were that combination was actually funnier. It can be funnier than him and Bobby Heenan. Because see, now but Monsoon, I think he could bob at anybody. Because Monsoon, when it came to him and Heenan or him and Jesse Ventura, that was hilarious. It was hilarious to listen to. But it also still made the match more exciting because it got you emotionally invested in the match. Because Monsoon's commentary was just brilliant.
That's true.
He can spit. And Heenan. I remember WrestleMania when I was little, and I would beg my parents to rent me a WrestleMania tape. They rent me one. I remember the one where it was Tatanka fighting in the ring. Bobby Heenan would say to Monsoon, he goes, "Hey Monsoon, you know how Tatanka's people say hello? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?" And Monsoon would go, "Would you stop it?" And see, that was what's so hilarious. The way he said, "Would you stop it, please?" He goes, "Oh, what a cheap shot," and as I said, Monsoon was just he was just magical. He was incredible. Man. Because a lot of times I would have tears in my eyes, split my side laughing so hard at him and Bobby Heenan. It was just hilarious. You couldn't beat that. But see, you could, and on TBS, David Crockett and Tony Schiavone, they were the best. Now I personally didn't like Eric Bischoff on the commentary, but he was there, for what it was.
We not even. Didn't Bischoff say some shit recently?
Yeah, he's been dogging AEW, saying CM Punk, say AEW doesn't help CM Punk, or CM Punk isn't helping AEW. He's basically becoming another Jim Cornette, and you know how Jim Cornette is.
I'm not even gonna talk about Jim Cornette. I'm leaving that alone.
Yeah, Jim Cornette is basically what you call he's a cold bastard when it comes to wrestling now. Look, he calls Kenny Omega Twinkle Toes. I give this. I don't like the guy. But the guy's hilarious. I'll give him this. He's hilarious.
I give him his credit. He's
hilarious.
He do be saying some funny shit.
Now he's literally a wrestling mind. Yes, he was on camera as a wrestler, but he could be a promoter and he could train because he was really good. To me, the two best wrestling minds in the business, to me, Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman. If you'd have put those two together,
don't let them hear you say that.
Why is that?
Don't let them hear you say that because they get compared to each other a lot.
Oh, so I'm guessing they hate each other too, probably.
I don't think they hate each other. I just think it's one of those they get compared to each other. Like Paul Heyman is the city version of Cornette. Cornette is the country version of Paul Heyman. It's like a twin type program. Like those two are always intertwined with each other in some way, shape, or form. They're always mentioned together.
I'm guessing they've never met face to face. If they have, I've never heard of it. But if they did, here's the thing: if you want to do a startup wrestling promotion, have Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette run it. I bet you they would bury and kill it once and for all WWE. Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette running a wrestling promotion together. We're talking the boss, board of directors, or everybody. The boss, the board of directors, everybody. No board of directors, just them two running a promotion, and everybody, the board working for them. They keep total control of the motion. They would kill Vince McMahon. He wouldn't have a chance because you'd have two of the greatest minds working together creatively, and even on camera, it'd be awesome. Like
That's
I said,
true.
look at this. Both of them can talk when they're
They
serious.
can.
Both of them can talk because Paul Heyman could probably bury anybody he wanted to.
Yeah, Paul
If he
Heyman
pissed them
never
off.
shuts the hell up, but
And Jim
give him his
Cornette,
due.
even probably more so than Paul Heyman, Jim Cornette would kill you on the microphone because he always has. Even I remember when TNA he would shoot, he would say, "This is not gonna be like the title where people give it to their friend or their son-in-law," and I'm like, "Okay, we know what I like that. I like we know what that means, and we know who he's talking to. And that's true too. That's the son-in-law."
Oh,
So
shit.
see, Jim Cornette, so that's why you notice Jim Cornette has never gotten back a job in back when he promotion. And the thing is, Jim Cornette hates AEW, but he would never work for Vince McMahon again. Like I said, his YouTube channel, his podcast is something else because he can dog. You can listen to him and he can dog any match. You know, I mean, like I say, he's still funny. He might be a prick, but he's still funny. That's just me. All right. Anything else you want to discuss?
Other than that, no, I don't have anything else in mind. I'm trying to think of something, but no.
Okay, I mean, we can wrap it up. I mean, you know, we basically talked about the issues that we came on to talk about, and then we went back to releases for a second. You know, so
Definitely.
all right then. Like I said, you know, it's been a good show. It's been a great show.
Yeah, it's almost an hour and a half. Damn,
Yeah,
time just be flying by though.
Yeah, no, especially if you have a good discussion and a good topic going. All right, y'all. I want to thank everybody in the chat for watching. The three viewers we have. Thank you for watching. We'll be back at some point in time with another wrestling topic. So it depends on, you know, what good stories are out there. Like I said, when I go live, it's special. You know, I don't go live just for 8 hours of bullshit, or, you know,
8 hours. God damn.
8 hours or basically, you know, if I want to go 8 hours of drama. So I mean, like I said, I'm not about that. But I'm about the fun in the wrestling. This is the reason why I came here. Because years ago, when I first came here, it was, yeah, as I'm almost saying, it was Enter the Arena. But I've come a long way since then. So anyway,
yeah. Nah.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Once again, shout out to Kid Stacy.
Definitely.
And maybe next time I'll have a third on with us. You know, like I said, I'm always looking. But it's gonna be somebody professional and somebody who's done about bullshit. So anyway, for Brother Zargon, I mean, boy, Professor X, like, share, subscribe. Peace and blessings, and everyone have a safe weekend.
That's right. Hit the like button or you're gonna bow to me, King Zargon.
Oh yeah. Hit the like button and acknowledge me. Peace, y'all.
Let everyone.